In The Greatest Showman, the main character Phineas Barnum illustrates the philosophical themes of childhood affecting adulthood, repressed actions of one's personality being brought out by a doppelganger, as well as individualism and authenticity.
When will it ever be enough for you?
I'm doing this for Caroline and Helen.
According to Sigmund Freud's primary process model, a fear one developed during their childhood can develop into an irrational fear as something similar in the future. Freud states that primary process recognizes no past and no future. If something was dangerous to them 20 years ago, it is still dangerous in their mind. Phineas's childhood provokes an unreasonable fear for him in the future. Growing up, Phineas was a poor son of a tailor and was treated with disrespect by the upper class. In his teenage years, his father died and he became an orphan and resorted to stealing food to survive. This tough childhood Phineas endured gave him a meaning in his life, which was to provide a better life for his children. This motivated him to become an entrepreneur and create his one-of-a-kind circus show. Even though he is becoming very wealthy off of his popular circus, he has the unreasonable fear that he still won't be able to provide for his children. This fear was created during his childhood, and now he unconsciously believes he will never be able to give his children a good life, no matter how much money he makes.
This is bad.
Criminal, degrading. Circus, I like circus.
Friedrich Nietzsche argues that one needs to determine their beliefs and actions rather than have them dictated by other people or the herd. At first, Phineas does not care what the public thinks of him and takes pride in his shocking circus show. He gathered up the most bizarre group of people he could find to put in his show, and he had no problem with associating with them. He even embraces the harsh things reporters say about him and uses public outcry as a way to promote his show. But then Phineas changed his ideas all of a sudden. He started to be bothered by the negative things the paper said about him and was embarrassed to be seen with his circus team. This change in attitude coincides with the introduction of Phineas's doppelganger, Philip Carlyle. Philip Carlyle is a doppelganger of Phineas for many reasons. They have very similar sounding names and also have similar appearances and facial features. Philip is also a play director, which can be seen as an upper-class version of a ringmaster. A doppelganger represents hidden or repressed aspects of a protagonist's personality, and the arrival of the doppelganger represents the return of the repressed. Philip represents what Phineas wants himself to be, a rich man of the upper class that is respected by his peers. Phineas wants to be like Philip, and that is why he so desperately wants him to become a partner of his circus. Philip's introduction in the movie is when Phineas seems to change his thoughts on being accepted by the media and upper class. He soon desires to venture away from the circus and goes on an opera tour with a famous singer, and is delighted when the critics call it a smashing success. Philip brought back Phineas's repressed feelings of wanting to be accepted by the upper class because as a child he felt ashamed of being poor. But in the end, Phineas and Philip quite literally become equals, and Phineas realizes he doesn't need to be accepted by the public or upper class to live a good life and provide for his family.
Partners. 50-50.
This isn't the life I promised you.
But I have everything I want.
The overall theme of this story is that being your authentic self leads to a happy and fulfilled life. Authenticity is described as the degree to which one is true to one's own personality, spirit, or character, despite external pressures. We can see when Phineas is being his authentic self, or if he's being inauthentic based on the emotions of his wife, Charity. Charity has always told Phineas that they did not need to be rich for them to be happy, and this seems to be true as Charity becomes less satisfied with her husband as he gets richer. When he is left jobless in the time before he created the circus, Charity was as happy as could be. But as we see Phineas becoming more and more successful, he starts to become less focused on being himself and more focused on showing others how great he is. Charity recognizes that Phineas has become too enveloped in enhancing his public image, and that he has forgotten his genuine self in the process, which is a man who cares deeply about his family. Luckily, at the end of the movie, he realizes that he has not been his true self by leaving the circus and caring what the rich and snobby people think about him. After coming back to the circus, he soon decides to relinquish his spot as a ringmaster to Philip so he can watch his children grow up and provide for them.